Hi all, it's Kristen. Welcome back to my channel. So today I got this idea. Hi all, it's Kristen. Welcome back to my channel. So last night I was watching Samantha March do a video about her top 5, bottom 5 brands. She made it into a tag video, so I feel comfortable, you know, redoing the idea or doing the idea. So basically it's top 5 brands that you get excited about when they have a new release, and the bottom 5 that you're kind of like, when they have a new release, you're kind of like, I'm not really sure. They don't really get me excited. I don't really gravitate toward that brand. So I wanted to go ahead and do that video for you today. First, I wanted to show you my look. I used the Naked Reloaded palette today, and I followed, as closely as I could, a tutorial from RawBeautyKristi Beauty. I'll link her video down below. She did a much better job than I did, obviously. You know, because she's beautiful at this makeup game. And I'm wearing my Dr. Facilier lipstick because, yeah, I felt dramatic today, apparently. I'm also drinking coffee, so if my lipstick gets smeared or slowly disappears, that's why. Anyway, so yeah, so the top 5, bottom 5 brands that I get excited about when they have new releases, and then the top or the bottom 5 that not so much. I will also link Samantha's video down below. So yeah, so let's go ahead and get started on this. So I'm going to start with the bottom 5. Mostly because, and ignore my handwriting, I had like so many like, not really, and then I could find like 6 that I was kind of excited about, I guess. There's a big question mark next to this one, so yeah. It's funny, I don't really get excited about brand releases so much as what the items they are that are released. Like, I love eyeshadows. So anytime a eyeshadow palette comes out, I usually gravitate toward those and like, ooh, let me see the swatches. Ooh, let me see this. Ooh, you know, I'm excited about that. Foundations, I usually like to read, you know, what the foundation is all about to see if I want to get that. I'm just, you know, concealers, I'm always on the hunt for a good concealer. So usually I gravitate more toward the item than the actual brands, but in the spirit of this video, I did want to go ahead and brainstorm and see, okay, so when I go on Trend Mood, which again, I'll link down below, Trend Mood is a Instagram that shows upcoming releases. Also, I'll link Beauty News, which is another place where I get that information from as well. I wanted to think about the things that when a certain brand comes out with something, no matter what it is, I'm like, ooh, I want to do that. I want to see that. I want to know what that is. I want to get that. So yeah, and then we'll talk about but first we're going to talk about the bottom. So the brands that when they come out with something, I'll glance at it, I'll look at it. I'm not necessarily excited about it. I don't have to click on that right away unless I hear somebody else talk about it. Then I'm like, okay, let's see what this is all about. So the first thing that came to mind when I was thinking about that was actually one that Samantha had mentioned as well, which is BH Cosmetics. I don't know. I've never been like drawn to BH Cosmetics. To be fair, I've never tried anything either. But I know that like Nicole Renee talks about them a lot, and I know that a lot of people really love BH Cosmetics, and every time I go to Ulta, I look at their stuff, and I swatch it, and I'm like, you know, okay. I don't know, they kind of remind me of Coastal Scents. That's what I was thinking of. They kind of remind me of Coastal Scents. Not that that's a bad thing, just in general, they kind of remind me of Coastal Scents, and I don't know, it doesn't appeal to me. I know I should probably at least try one of their products. I'm not saying that they're a bad brand or that, you know, I'm like, ugh, I'm too good for that. I'm just saying that they don't really appeal to me. I don't look at it and go, ooh, I want all that. No, I don't, that doesn't excite me, so yeah. The next one is Stila. Now, I love my Stila Glimmer and Glows and Shimmer and Glows. These liquid eyeshadows from Stila. You guys have heard me rave about these. I also like the Stila liquid eyeliner that they have. But that's pretty much it. Like everything else from Stila, they're okay, you know. They just released 2 eyeshadow palettes, and I was like, ooh, those look really nice. And then I read that they were $52, and I was like, I'm not spending $52 on pressed eyeshadows from Stila. I just not. I would rather spend $52 on pressed eyeshadows from other brands. Sorry. Not sorry kind of thing. So yeah, so Stila is another one where when they release something, I'm like, that's alright, I guess so, okay. And then for me, when I think Stila, I also automatically go to Too Faced. And I'm like, I used to love Too Faced. When I was first getting into high-end makeup, I thought I'd made it when I was able to buy a couple of Too Faced items. This was way back, like way back, when you could only get them in like department stores, and I didn't know what Sephora was. So, you know, I used to really enjoy Too Faced. Yeah, I used to get them at like, they had a clearance sale at a department store a while ago, like, I don't know, it's kind of embarrassing to even say how long ago. But when they were closing this department store in my old town, in my old mall, they had Too Faced on clearance, and oh, I was so excited, and the Too Faced shadow insurance. Not so much anymore. I got rid of a lot of my Too Faced things. I had an eyeshadow palette from them. I wanted the peach palette from them, like when that whole thing came out. I think that's pretty much when I like jumped off the Too Faced wagon. I really wanted that peach palette. Couldn't find it anywhere ever. If you were brown back then, you know that it came out. It got a lot of hype. It was sold out everywhere. It was supposed to be limited edition, so they weren't going to bring it back. And then they did bring it back. And when they brought it back and it was available, I was over it. I was like, I'm done. I'm done. I think I had one of the natural, like, one of the palettes that had like the 3 big ones, and that, yeah, I think I had one. I did have the matte peach palette that I kind of enjoyed it, but I decluttered it recently. The only thing that I own, I think the only thing that I own from Too Faced right now is this Born This Way concealer. And this is something that really took me a long time to get on board with, because I'm not really a Too Faced fan. I don't know. But I tried this. It's okay. It's okay. I think I need to get a different color in it to really like give it a good go. I found the little one in Snow, and right now I'm too dark for it. In the winter time again, I may really love this. I don't know. But yeah, Too Faced, it just doesn't get me excited anymore. MAC is another one where when I first started getting into makeup, it was all about MAC. It was all about MAC. I needed everything from MAC. I needed the entire collections that came out. I was on a forum that was basically, which is like a message board, about MAC. I kept up with all the collections. I knew all the names of the products. I'd go into MAC and ask them about the products by names, and even the girls who worked there are like, I don't know what that is. I'm like, it's new. And they're like, oh, okay. I would know before they did. I got burnt out by MAC. I think a lot of people got burnt out by MAC with their overwhelming amount of limited edition collections. The Pocket Panthers have ran into the room. With their over amount of, you know, collection after collection after collection after collection. And their quality just started going down, in my opinion. And so I kind of, for a long time, just kind of got off the MAC train. I hadn't bought from MAC in a long time. I got their eyeshadow primer in 2016, and I really loved that. It was like the 24-hour eyeshadow primer or something like that. I really liked that, and that's when I started slowly getting back into MAC. I got another Painterly paint pot. I got, you know, this MAC Fix Plus. I think the fact that they're in Ulta and the fact that now they have sales pretty regularly, which back then they did not have sales, I think that has brought me more toward it. But I don't get overly excited when I see collections from MAC. I'll look at it, I'll see what they have. I might pick up a piece or two. Honestly though, most of the time I don't. So they don't get me excited. Lastly, Jeffree Star. I'm not coming for Jeffree. I'm not. His aesthetic is very young and modern, which is awesome. And as somebody who's trying to, you know, be somebody who's doing YouTube videos, you would think that I would like gravitate toward that. But I don't know. His things just don't really appeal to me. I've never watched Jeffree Star. I don't know anything about Jeffree Star, so I'm not like, oh, I can't stand that man. I don't know anything about that man. So you know, he may be the greatest makeup artist on the planet. I've heard great things about his makeup. In fact, I did look up to see if I can get the Blue Bloods palette. Excuse me. I did look up to see if I could get the Blue Bloods palette from Beautylish. It was sold out, not surprisingly. So I'm like, eh. The rest of that collection I have no interest in. And so I'm like, again, I've never tried anything from him, but nothing's ever really appealed to me. Again, no shade at all. I'm sure if I tried something I'd like it, but it's just, I don't gravitate toward it, which is the point of this. Okay, so my top 5 was a little harder. Like I said, like I had a whole list of brands that I don't really gravitate toward. And some of these I kind of like, I looked at them and I'm like, oh, but if they release this, then, you know, and I have Marc Jacobs on here. I just can't afford Marc Jacobs, honestly. I want that bronzer that, I had a sample of it one time, that really big bronzer that's like 50 bucks. I may have to get it during the VIB sale soon, which apparently is coming at the end of April for Rouge members, the beginning of May for VIB and Beauty Insider. So I'll try to keep you guys updated on that. But yeah, I just can't afford anything from Marc Jacobs, so I can't say that I'm not gravitated toward it, because I want everything that he releases, but you know. The first thing that I really gravitate toward, and I always get excited when they release things and I need to look and see what it is Urban Decay. So, Urban Decay. I love Urban Decay. I love their eyeshadows. I love their lipsticks. I love their pigmentation. I love a lot of things about Urban Decay, actually. The Game of Thrones collection. I really want the Sansa Stark lipstick. Sansa Stark lipstick. Sorry, I'm not a Game of Thrones fan. I want that, and I want the lipstick, and there was, oh, and I want a couple of the eyeliners. Because I'm not like a massive Game of Thrones fans, I've seen some of them. I've seen like the whole first season, and then we didn't have HBO after that, so I just didn't have access to it. But I still want pieces from that because it's Urban Decay and it looks amazing. It just, everything that come out, I do a second glance at, and I always have to look at the swatches and see what they're bringing out and things like that. Anastasia Beverly Hills. Mostly their eyeshadow palettes. I own pretty much all of them. I don't own, I gotta pick up Subculture from TJ Maxx because it's only 20 bucks at TJ Maxx every time I go, but I've heard such mixed reviews about it, and I'm like, do I really want it? I think I do, just so I can, you know, have it in my collection. And then I didn't have the Mario, I don't know his name, I didn't get that palette, the one that's Kim Kardashian's makeup artist. I didn't get that one, but I do have, you know, Modern Renaissance, I have Sultry, I have Soft Glam, I have the new Riviera, you know, I have a lot of her eyeshadow palettes. And I have tried her eyebrow, you know, her eyebrow things, and I like them. Don't get me wrong, I like them, but you know, just like everybody else, I found less expensive dupes at like the drugstore, so I'm just gonna go with that because we're all trying to save money, right? So we can buy other things. Not so we can save money, but you know, so we can buy other things. Yeah, I gravitate toward Anastasia Beverly Hills. Natasha Denona. And it's funny because I was saying how I couldn't afford Marc Jacobs. I really can't afford Natasha Denona either. I'm never going to get one of her giant $129. I shouldn't say never. Most likely, I'm never going to get one of her $129 palettes. That just is baffling to me that an eyeshadow palette costs that much. If I got any of them, I would get the gold because I hear that one's like the best. But I don't know. I have the minis. Let me grab them. I have these and I love them. I think they're great quality. I imagine those big ones are spectacular quality. But I enjoy my mini ones. This was $48, which was still a little expensive. And then these were $25 and I'm like, okay, these are great. Whenever she releases something, I always do a double take on it and look at it. And whenever she releases a big palette, I'm like, okay, well, hopefully she'll release a mini or, you know, another 5-pan palette. I need to get more of these because I love the quality of these as well. But anytime she does that, I do a double take on it. And I can very rarely afford a lot of Natasha Denona stuff, but she's coming out with a Bronze and Glow where it's like a bronzer and then like a bronzy glowy highlighter. I also want to get the Blush and Glow, I think it is. I want to get those little palettes that she has with blushes. I'm really interested in those, so yeah. ColourPop. ColourPop is a new thing for me in terms of being really interested in them. I'm allergic to the Super Shock shadows. And I think the lips as well. I think the liquid lipsticks, I'm also allergic to that. When they first came out, I was really excited about them. I bought a bunch of the Super Shock shadows and I bought like 4 or 5 of the lips. And it became very quickly, I discovered very quickly that I was allergic to something in the ingredients in both of those products. That my eyes would go crazy every time the Super Shock shadows would go near them. And then the lips just, they made me break out. So I steered away from ColourPop until they started doing the pressed shadows. And then I was like, oh, okay. And they're killing it with the last couple of releases. You guys saw I went crazy with the Villains collection. I really love that. The new Peachy collection, I'm on the fence about just because I have so many eyeshadow palettes, but I really want those eyeshadows and I really want to get the blushes. The Super Shock formula on like the face doesn't seem to break me out. It's just, it irritates my eyes. So I want some of the blushes. You know, I don't know. And then, there's just, they're starting to really draw me in with their stuff. The only problem I find with them is it's kind of like MAC in the old days where they release so much all the time that I'm like, oh, okay, slow down. Whoa, slow down, you know? So I think that's the only really thing that I'm gonna like, I need you to slow down because I can't get everything all at once, you know, so. And same thing with CoverGirl. Lately, CoverGirl has really been drawing me in. I think they've been, the fact that they went cruelty-free and, you know, kind of rebranded everything and started coming out with new formulas and I find exciting products. You know, they have really good face products. The primer that I have is really good. It's the illuminated one. The eyebrow pencil that I have is really good. Yeah, I'm really impressed whenever I go and look at the CoverGirl section. I'm like, wow, CoverGirl, you're really stepping up your game. Good job. So yeah, I really like CoverGirl so far. When I go back in there, when I go into the drugstore, that's really the area that I look at the most is CoverGirl. Yeah. So those are my top 5, bottom 5 of brands that get me excited or do not get me excited. So because this is a tag video, I tag whoever wants to do it, you know, just go ahead. But yeah, like I said, I'll link Samantha's video below. I'll link RawKristi Beauty's video where I got the inspiration for this eye. Not even an inspiration, where I followed her tutorial for the eye. I'll link down Trend Moods. Yeah, Trend Mood, I think it's called. So thank you very much for joining me today. If you like this video, please hit that like button. Please subscribe if you haven't. Share this video with your friends and family, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!